Okay, and welcome. This is Geralyn St. Joseph, and we're here today to talk about your expanded, evolved chakra system. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the core. Last week, we did a real thorough cleansing of the core, and the people who were here with me, I got a lot of really good results back as to what they've experienced since then. So, this will add to that. But if you didn't get to see that or go to that, we do have a recording. And if you want to be involved, you just let me know. So what I want to do this time, I very seldom share my screen, but I am going to do a screen share this time. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I'm going to have to set that up different. I didn't know how to do this. So I want to show you what I'm talking about as we go through these so that you can get a good understanding of, you can picture what I'm saying because it'll be right there in front of you. Okay, so here we go. So thumbs up if you know what the chakra system is, like the core chakras, if you've heard of that before. Let's see a thumbs up. Okay, so everybody's heard of that before. It's fairly common knowledge at this point to be aware of this. So this depiction shows the basics. So you start at the core, which is around the pubic bone or in your sitting bones, as they say, and that is part of your connection to earth. That's your base nature. That's about what you need in the world. Then you come up and you do the sacral chakra. That's orange. That's more about creativity. Yellow is in the solar plexus, which is right there. I can't see myself anymore. And that connects the physical with the emotional and the spiritual. Then you have the heart. And we're going to be working with the heart complex today. But in the regular chakra system, they just show the heart as being the one chakra. Now, this is a multi-level chakra, so that it's green and pink, even though it's often depicted as just green. It looks like the yin-yang symbol because it needs to be balanced in order for you to really function well in the world. So it's about how you love yourself, how you love others, and how you allow others to love you. So you need all of those components. When I talk about the heart complex, I'm talking about there's the lower heart, the heart, and then the high heart. So the lower heart is usually how people treat us. That's more about kind of allowing what we're allowing in. The central heart is more about us loving others and us loving ourselves, and there being a balance there. And then the high heart, which I call the Christ point, is the compassion point. That's where compassion comes from. So compassion is about loving everyone, and it's about being able to see the bigger picture. And through seeing the bigger picture, that we then can relate on a different level. What's happening right now, and this has been happening probably for the last 20 years about, or at least 8. 2012 was a big shift. But these started to merge and change. And then in 2012, there was a big shift. And now we're going into where the heart complex is a lot more important, and it's more functional, and it's coming online for a lot of people. Now, as it comes online, a lot of people are like, what is going on? I don't know what's happening here, because you start feeling all kinds of emotions that you're not used to feeling. And it's about really recognizing those emotions and allowing them to flow. Because if you don't allow them to flow, what ends up happening is you end up feeling really out of balance. You keep trying to push them down, and there's no growth happening. So we have that. I like to show this picture. My cousin took this picture. It's gorgeous. I have no idea where it is. But to me, it really shows what we're trying to accomplish, which is we're merging the very spiritual with the earth. So the earth has her own energetic. And because we are earth beings or human beings, we have that energetic as part of our spiritual DNA and as part of our physical DNA. When we lose connection to the earth, all kinds of things go haywire. And a lot of times when people get into metaphysics and they start doing this kind of work, what they end up doing is constantly focusing on up here instead of focusing on the flow, which needs to go all the way up and all the way down. It's a current. So if you're only doing half of it and you're only getting half of it, you're not completing the current. So things are not flowing the way they need to be. And this is where a lot of people have problems. I like this picture too, to show the same thing, that it needs to be coming up from the bottom and down from the top. Here again shows the basic chakras. I left off at the heart because that complex is so important. Then we have the throat chakra, which is royal blue. That's about communication and expression. So does that mean it's just about talking? No. It's whatever your expression is. So if your expression is singing, if your expression is music, if you like to write, if you just, meditate on top of a mountain, whatever your expression is that is unique to you, that is what the throat chakra is about. Yes, a sore throat can sometimes mean that you're not saying what you need to, or you're not expressing your true self. With the throat chakra, there's also other chakras that is attached to that aren't often spoken of. So I see the throat, and then there's one in the back of your mouth. So it's like at the back of your throat. All the chakras are energetic. They go through the body. Some people believe that they only exist along the spine in the center of the body. The way it's taught in India is that each chakra relates to different organs in the body. So like the sacral chakra relates to the, I think it's the gallbladder. And they each have different ones. I obviously don't always go by that. I tend to believe that when you're doing spiritual work, it's good to have the information. However, if you're struggling to get to that side of your brain to remember details, you're pulling yourself out of the spiritual. Whatever you need to know will be there when you need it, if you really are in the flow and if you really are connected to source. So this gives you a good idea. Then you have awareness. Most people know what the third eye is. How many people have heard of the fourth and fifth eyes? Give me a thumbs up. Nobody? Okay, so that's your intuition complex, is the third eye, the fourth eye, and the fifth eye. And they each reach for different aspects of intuition or of psychic ability. So, like, from my experience, the fourth eye is what you're tapping into when you're talking to people who have crossed over or ghosts, because it's a different type of communication center. The third eye is talking more towards your guardians and guides, who are basically vibrationally around you, so they lower their vibration to be around you. And then the fifth eye is what sees for the world, like that sees the bigger picture. And then we move up and we have the crown chakra. Now in this picture, the crown is shown as purple or violet. The way I see the crown chakra and the way the spirit goes, or the energetic of it goes, is it starts as like that violet color, it moves into white, and then the tips are gold. And it moves out that way, and it's called the 1,000-petaled lotus. Then there are chakras above that. So we're going to be talking about chakras above the crown, and we're going to be talking about chakras below the root. And there are two major chakras that are below the root that are necessary for proper grounding and to help you really filter energetic. And then you have a chakra that actually is where your spirit attaches to the earth, or where your spirit connects with the Gaia energy. And that is below you, actually physically in the earth. So some chakras are physical, where they're in the physical plane, actually in and around the physical body, and others go way out past that. So this gives you an idea, like different people will resonate at different frequencies, and they resonate more with one chakra than another. That doesn't mean the other ones aren't opening or that they're not functioning. It just means that that's where they are at that time. I noticed, because I'm a scientist at heart, we did like Geralyn photography. Does everybody know what Geralyn photography is? Give me a thumbs up. No? Geralyn photography is photography that takes a picture of the energy around you. And sometimes it's in colors, sometimes it's not. But when it's in colors, the different colors mean different things. And I'm not going to go into all that right now. I have a whole class about that. But what I noticed when we were messing around with this stuff, when I used to do psychic fairs, is that when I'm doing readings, my energetic system is primarily green, and then it has purple. When I shift to doing a healing, it swaps. So the parts that were green become purple, and the parts that were purple become green. I think I'm saying that right. So you can shift your energetic just through intention, through meditation, you could shift it through doing different things. And it's something that if you have somebody around you who is good at seeing that or can sense it, it's good to play around with that to see like what different things do to your energetic or how it feels to you. An easy thing to do is like listening to music. Some people listen to very angry music and then they wonder why they're angry all the time. It's because you listen to angry music, like you're just embedding yourself with that. Now, that kind of music can also pump you up, but in small doses. So it's about what you're allowing into your system a lot, like allowing it to flow. It's okay to listen to sad songs. It's not okay to listen to nothing but sad songs. It's all right to feel like, oh, this person's feeling the same thing I'm feeling, and that's why you listen to sad music, but you don't want that to be everything. So this picture is just giving you a little teaser of one of the things we're going to be doing a little bit later. This is called the flame, or I call it the flame. It's basically when all of your chakras are charged up and flowing. This is kind of what it looks like to me. Like they just, it's actually more like white light energy flowing through, but we put the colors there to let you know that it's every color. You're getting everything that you need. It's flowing through your entire body. It's connecting you to the earth and to the galactic center. And that's what we're shooting for. Now, some people's chakras look like this all the time because this is the way they've evolved them. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways that the chakra system is evolving. I have a whole different class on that, but I just want to give you an idea of what this is. This is called the heart center, galactic Gaia, or it's also called the heart flame, the heart burst. Basically, it's when the heart chakra is your focus. That's your primary chakra. This is something that we are moving into as a species. And I think you're beginning to see this more and more. I do believe it has something to do with what's happening right now. It's supposed to push us in this direction, or at least separate the wheat from the chaff. So what's happening is we're coming into a space where there's more compassion. We're starting to look at people differently. We're starting to work together differently. So we're not talking about like this country versus that country. At least intelligent people aren't. And yes, that was a dig to anybody who still is like, you know, thinking everything's got to be dichotomy and people can't work together and all that. That's not where we're going. At least that's not where I'm going. We have a choice right now. Either we're going to do things that are heart-centered and we're going to move forward, or you're going to be left behind and you're going to, you know, continue to fight and bicker and do all that low vibe stuff. And that's fine. That's your choice, but I'm not going there. And I think that none of you guys are either. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Okay. So there you go. This is just a quick thing my kid did for me to show like different types. So this is called the tri-pua. And I call it the tri-pua because pua means flower in Hawaiian, because that's what it looks like. It looks like the lower chakras all merge together to create a flower that flows up and down. And then you have the stem, and then the heart chakra is nice and big, and that merges with the whole complex there, and also with the throat. And then you have the crown, which really opens up and becomes more, and it covers the entire top of the head. Let's see. Oh, and I think I'm done. Cool. All right. So you'll see me melting as time goes on because it's really hot in here. Just so you know, don't get alarmed. So does anybody have any questions about any of that? Or anything you want to add?
I do. I see very quickly the Merkaba.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way they all relate the outside chakras?
The Merkaba is actually an energy system that is outside of the chakra system. So some people have that as their main energetic system. So the Merkaba is kind of like, I use that as a main energetic system. What it does is it flows, it flips things out that aren't supposed to be in your system. And it's good for being able to change vibration quickly and seamlessly from one vibration to another. So you can go up and down. So like the reason why somebody would use that is if they're doing things to, like, because I do exorcisms and things like that, I have to be able to sense what's around me. When my vibration is too high, it's like we're not even on the same earth plane. So I have to be able to travel back and forth without actually becoming part of that system. And that's what the Merkaba is for.
Gotcha.
So
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the video. If you are interested in more about the evolved chakra system and actually learning all those different things and figuring out which one you're going through, I do have a webinar on that, or I work with people individually. So we're gonna do this right now so that we can have, this part is going to be separated from the actual session.